why you're tired of starting over, and how to finish this season strong. What if the reason you and I are exhausted? What if it isn't because we're weak, but because we have been restarting instead of completing? And what if this season isn't asking you to reinvent yourself, but to integrate what you've already lived? And what if finishing, not starting, is the real breakthrough? So let's cut to the chase. Hey y'all, I'm Madison Simone Chase, also known as Miss Chase, and I was raised by an incredible single mom who's my biggest fan and my best friend forever, my BFF for real. I am a celebrity, certified personal trainer, fitness and wellness expert, and sports and entertainment media host. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, raised in Dallas, built in Los Angeles. I trained at Juilliard with School of American Ballet, becoming the world's only three-time ESPN Miss Fitness champion, appearing in more than 450 fitness DVDs. And the first of the 450 fitness DVDs was led by celebrity trainer and the GOAT, Gunnar Peterson, who's known for training the Kardashian family. As a celebrity personal trainer, some of my most notable clients include Robert Pattinson of Twilight and Batman, Chris Tucker of Rush Hour, and Amber Riley of Glee. As a sports and entertainment media host, some of my favorite red carpet moments include chatting with Richard Branson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Emma Stone, Viola Davis, Tyler Perry, Justin Baldoni, Issa Rae, and Tiana Taylor, to name a few. I share my accomplishments to honor the millions of sacrifices my mom made, planted in me so that I could blossom and flourish into the woman I am still becoming. So if you're listening and or watching, pull up a digital chair, grab yourself a cup of hot or cold herbal tea, and welcome to my cozy home of Cut to the Chase at 8. A 15-minute micro learning moment for macro living. And I am so overjoyed that you are here, because this is where we explore and lean into life with our lived experiences, yours and mine, where we invite lots of grace in this space as we are living in some interesting times. We chat all about spirit, mind, and body health that is ultimately our wealth in microdoses for macro living. Make sure you join me twice daily for just 15 minutes at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, because this is your 15-minute chance for your daily pause for a cause, for clarity, for wellness, for grace, and intentional decision making. And giving yourself grace, because how we start our day and how we end it matters. Each episode, my offer to you is 3 keys and 1 question to sit with, and hopefully encouraging you to give yourself grace in this space with something practical, something grounded, and something you could carry with you. So wherever you're listening from, turn it up and tune in. And if anything you hear today pricks your heart or lights a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe, share this with someone you care about, and please leave a comment so that this becomes a dialogue and not just a monologue, and also leave a 5-star rating. Now let's take a breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's lean into today's episode of Cut to the Chase at 8. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. And let's get ready, set, grow, and go, and be great. All right, so let's settle in, because today's conversation is for anyone, including myself, who sometimes feel like they've had to start over too many times. It could be a career change. It could be moving. It could be a failed relationship. It could be a new relationship. And if you are tired of rebuilding, if you're tired of just resetting and feeling exhausted because you're constantly resetting and because you want to get it perfect, right? And if you're also wondering why finishing feels harder than beginning. And here's today's question that I like to start every episode with. And this episode, the question for today is, what if this season that we're in, this phase of life that we're in, this chapter of the book that we're in? What if it isn't about starting again, but about finishing differently? It's a gentle reframe, which brings me to key number one. Starting over is exhausting. Completion is healing. And I think sometimes we try to do things perfectly, right? And there's no such thing as perfect, right? And sometimes I've heard a saying before, and it said that you should write for writers. If you're a writer, you should write to throw it in the trash because it takes the pressure off of trying to write something so perfectly. So this is something we don't talk about enough, right? So key number one is starting over is exhausting. Completion is healing. And it's definitely something we don't actually address audibly often, right? So starting over gets celebrated, right? That there's celebrations for marathon runners, there's celebrations for people who as boxers when they went about, but the finishing part gets overlooked. But starting requires energy, momentum, and optimism. Finishing requires patience, and integration, and integrity, and emotional honesty. And many of us are tired because we keep restarting chapters that are actually asking to be closed with care. I'm going to say that again. Many of us, including myself, are getting tired and exhausted because we keep restarting chapters or we keep rereading chapters and we keep rereading old books and picking them up. And some of those chapters are actually asking to be closed with care. And completion isn't quitting, it's honoring what was. Which brings me to key number two. Unfinished seasons leak energy. Say that again. Key number two. Unfinished seasons leak energy. When something isn't emotionally finished, it lingers. It shows up as mental fatigue or mental fogginess, emotional distraction, second guessing, and not being able to make a decision quickly. And repeating the same lessons over and over and over again, not because we're failing, but because the season hasn't been metabolized yet. And finishing doesn't mean everything worked out. It means, hopefully, that we're extracting the wisdom that we need to take out of that lesson, out of the thing that we've already worked out. Which brings me to key number three. Finishing strong looks quiet, not dramatic. Finishing strong, key number three, finishing strong looks quiet. And it's not dramatic, it's not big. And closure doesn't always come with conversations, apologies, or explanation. It doesn't always come with that. And so sometimes finishing looks like acceptance. Sometimes finishing looks like boundaries. Sometimes finishing looks like peace without permission. And sometimes finishing looks like choosing not to reopen what has already been taught to you. Or me. Finishing strong is an internal decision, and it frees up space for what's next. So let's bring this together. If you are tired and exhausted right now, it may not be because we need a new beginning. It may be because something old needs a gentle ending and a gentle closure that you close yourself. And once that energy in our spirit is released, that momentum returns naturally. So let's reflect on this question. What season or story or version of yourself or myself is asking to be finished and not restarted so that we can move forward with clarity? I'm going to ask the reflection question again. What season are you in? Or what story or book or version of yourself or myself is asking to be finished and not started so that we can move forward with clarity again? That is the question that we're asking ourselves. So I want you to notice what comes up for you. So before you go, I just want to say thank you from the bottom and the top of my heart. It has truly been an honor and a pleasure sharing this time with you. And thank you for continuing to give yourself grace in this space with me today. And any of the other episodes that you're listening to, that you've downloaded, I want to say thank you. I am very genuinely thankful that you chose to step into this cozy digital home with me. And for any of the people who have listened, who have given me great feedback, who have left me voicemails, thank you. Some of those voicemails are going to start showing up in a lot of the episodes that are coming. So thank you for that. It means a lot. And so before you head out, let's quickly revisit our 3 keys and 1 question from today's episode. Key number 1, starting over is exhausting. Completion is healing. Key number 1, starting over is exhausting and completion is healing, and it can energize you. Key number 2, unfinished seasons leak energy. Key number 2, unfinished seasons leak energy. Key number 3, finishing strong looks quiet. It's not dramatic. It's not a big thing, but it should be. And sometimes reframing finishing more so than what we perceive in terms of what a finish looks like, because it's not always a big win. And it's not always dramatic. It's not always these big things going off in terms of people celebrating your win. And sometimes you need to be quiet about the things that you finish. At least that's been my lived experience. And so your 1 reflection question for today: what season or story or version of yourself and myself is asking to be finished and not started, so that we can move forward with clarity? And for me also, I think the question is not trying to make it perfect. And sometimes I've heard this saying that says that oftentimes writers who write creatively, or even just writers in general, if you're writing a novel or a book, some people say if you ever get a writer's block, to write to throw it in the trash, so that you take the pressure off of just trying to be perfect. So if today's episode offered you clarity, insight, or even a pause for a cause you didn't know you needed, and if there's anything that I've shared that pricks your heart or lights a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe, share this podcast and any of the other podcasts with someone you care about, or leave a comment so that this episode becomes a dialogue and not just a monologue. And please make sure you leave a 5-star rating, because it helps this space to grow and reach others. And if this space has been meaningful for you in any way, and if Cut to the Chase has become part of how you start or end your day, I'd love to personally invite you to consider becoming a founding member of the Cut to the Chasers or the Chasers Circle, because this is a community that I am building, that I want to build with like-minded people, for those who want to grow with intention, grace, and consistency. And founding members help shape the future of this space while receiving early access, deeper connection, and special offerings. And you can learn more and join through the link in the show notes for this particular episode. So thank you again for joining me here twice a day for our daily 15-minute microdose for macro living. And now let's close with 1 breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is Cut to the Chase at 8 with me, Madison Simone Chase. Start and end your day with intention and grace. It's Cut to the Chase at 8. You're ready, and we're set, and we're growing, and let's go. Let's get clear, and let's be great. Blessings to you and yours. Until tomorrow.